Hello, everyone. We were discussing our data strategy, that how we can develop data strategy, and I have discussed the 5 major steps that will really help you to build your data strategy for your enterprise. So in the last video, we discussed. I do believe we discussed the current processes, that what is happening, that's the major component that will help you to to help you identify the area of improvements in the later stage in your data strategy journey. So we discussed that. Now today we're going to discuss the second step. So now after that, what you identify what is happening on your enterprise landscape in terms of the data related processes, or anything which is linked to the data. The next step is a bit tricky one, because that's where I think things go sometime a bit rough, or I would say a bit confusing for many people, because that's the second step is really the one that will contribute in the success or failure of the data strategy. So what's the second step? Let's discuss it today. And in the second step, we are going to define what is success. So that's a very, very important point that we need to understand, that what is success for your data strategy, because without that it would be hard to build any data strategy for any organization. And maybe you build something which at the end is not accepted by the business. So although you believe that, okay, that strategy works, that is really great data strategy for my enterprise, it really contribute, but if you are not have a buy-in from the business, it's going to be hard to sell back to the business. So that's why I thought I should explain in steps, because every data strategy, like I mentioned in the previous video, it must align with the business vision or business goal. Unfortunately, your data strategy cannot stand against, or opposite to the business vision or goal. We have to build the data strategy always in favor of the business goals, or the vision business is heading towards. So the very first thing, in defining the success, identify the business strategic statement or VM statement. With all strategy is strategic document, they always have some statement that actually define, okay, these are the strategic goal that business is going to address in this year, right? So or these are the strategic goals that are going to be part of a bigger VN. For example, we have a 5-year VN, and out of that 5-year VN, in this year we're going to attempt these let's say 10 things. So these 10 things are going to be the strategic goal for that particular year. Now, for your data strategy, you should have all these points regarding data that can contribute in those 10 points that are going to be achieved in the current year. It's not like the business is addressing the goals based on the current year, and your data strategy is at addressing something which is going to be happen after 2-3 years. Thing doesn't work. So that's where things goes off track a bit. So once you identify, and by the way, we're going to see all these statement in through some examples. So don't worry if you have some question. I'll try to clarify in the example scenario. Then filter those statements that define. So these are the in the first step, you identify, okay, we have some business some strategic statement or vision statement that I got it from the business strategic document. And I think it would be good if we can relate the example side by side. So let's take an example scenario For example, we have the telco company, and they are their business is suffering at the moment, and the reason is they identify the customer churn rate, and churn rate is more like, you know, where customer is stopping the use of these services. So the customer churn rate is high. So the business goal is, okay, how can we reduce the customer churn rate in this year? Now that there's a goal, right? And it has a defined boundary that, okay, we have, let's say, another 12 months. That's the target, that's the window, and we are going to put some planning or put some action to reduce the number of customer who are leaving the company's service. Pretty clear statement, right? There's no ambiguity. We want to make sure our customer retention rate is going to high, or our customer attrition rate is going to be low, which collectively called customer churn rate. Okay, so after analyzing that statement, we immediately identify, so what is our success criteria that board has. We need to reduce the customer churn rate. So that means that we need to reduce we need to build a data strategy that will contribute in decreasing the customer churn rate. Note one thing in here, that we are not saying, oh, we are going to decrease to reduce the customer churn rate. Data team, or you know, the data squad, or whatever you want to call it, they always be the contributor. So the whatever business think, or whatever business propose, our data team, or as a data strategist, or you can call yourself chief data officer, because theoretically that should be the person who is responsible for building the data strategy. He makes sure that whatever strategy he's building from the data side, that contribute into that goal that business is driving. Because tell you the truth, there are many other factors we need to consider, which also contribute into the same goal. Obviously, being a data strategist, you are not going to talk to the customer directly, but what you will do, you will provide the equipment or tools, or you know, or the support to the people who are in communication with the customer. All right, so we are now pretty clear. We need to build a strategy, our success criteria, that okay, in this year we need to reduce the customer churn rate. Cool. Now, once you understand the definition, based on your definition of the success, share it back with the business, because it's always good to, you know, share what you are seeing from the data perspective with the business, so you and the business are on the same page. So it's not like you are going in silo. You get the goal, okay, we are going to define, we are going to build a data strategy, or build the data capability that will help in reducing the customer churn rate. Now that's very tricky, and that's where most of us sometimes we slip our way. We need to reconfirm from the business that, okay, is that the success definition is correct, and how are you going to do it? Why I'm saying it based on the data oriented, there is one reason. Obviously, you need to now get the facts. Like, okay, for example, if the last year the churn rate is, for example, 40%, so obviously you can show back to the business that we have the 40% and we try to reduce to 30%. And that's where you can see there's again a data is playing. You need to identify, okay, in the last couple of years, what's the growth in the churn rate. So because based on that you can define, okay, that would be my goal, and that will define a success from the data side, right? And then share it back to the business. So for example, every year, let's say 10% is 10% is the increment in the customer churn rate. Like in the first year, the customer churn rate was really, let's say 15%. The next year, it increased to another 15%. So now it's 30%. Now the last year it reduced, but it increased to 20%. Let's say, maybe put this way. So now it's altogether 50%. So you can see a trend that every year the the number of customers who are leaving our company service is increased from 15% to now last year up to 20%, right? So it's keep growing, and there are some reason. Now our target is to reduce it from 20% maybe to 15%, which is still a success because we bring it back to the previous rate, which was like a couple of years back, right? And then if we really excel, or if we don't, even we will provide the reason that what are the factors that we were unable to reduce even less than 15%. So you can see that that's where the success definition is very tricky between the data and the business, right? And that needs to be clarified and signed off between the data and the business, right? So because later on it can really help everyone to celebrate the success, right? But if there are multiple definition, or a really two different definition of success, it might not help anyone at the end of the year. And sometimes it really frustrates people that they put their best effort, and at the end, because the success definition or the lens of looking at success are different, so that's why people are not agree. One team is celebrating, yeah, we did it. The other team saying, no, that's not how we define the success. Perfect. So that's the step where you need to define the success based on the data, and then you need to sign off by the business. And as soon as business has shared sign off that, yeah, we are agree that, okay, reduce the churn rate to, for example, in this year to 15%, and if you can reduce it to 10%, great. It would be very helpful for the business. We all together gonna celebrate that success, right? So you can see how the business and now data team is working together, to achieve something which is contributing into business sphere. And that's how this is all about data strategy. Your strategy is I would say is a combination of steps that can be shared, or can can be celebrated by everyone within the organization. It's not like something, a very isolated or document oriented thing which is sitting on your table, and the business has no idea what strategy we are building. So that must be something that can be shared and celebrated by the business at the end of the year. So once you build that strategy, okay, once you agree with that definition, so not strategy, once you agree with that definition, and that is signed off by the business, share it with your data team. And sometimes that last step, it goes into loop. Like for example, you sometimes you define the success definition based on the data. You share with your team first, right? And team contribute, because they are the one who are actually going to execute their strategy. So they contribute. You take it back to the business has some concern, they provide their feedback, you adjust the strategy, you talk to the data teams, and they provide their feedback again. So it's actually a bit, I would say, number of iterations that needs to go on before everyone is on the same page. But trust me, once you have that definition in place and agree uniformly between all the department, you're gonna see the benefit later. So that I think that the second step is a bit tricky and most complicated one, but once you clarify the success definition. And keep in mind, I just discussed one goal. So normally we have multiple goals every year. Every organization, enterprise have a list of goals that they want to achieve it, and you need to actually define success by the goals. So you can later at the end of the year, once we audit or once we cross check our uh, 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 achievement against the strategy, we have this definition that can tick those boxes. Yeah, these are the success definition that we are agree upon, and based on the definition, these are the achievement we have in this year, and we can tick those boxes, and everyone can celebrate this success. So if you have any question, please feel free to post in the comments. I do believe you like it, and stay tuned for the third step, in which we are going to ask the question. Now, once this success definition is established and agreed between us and the business, then we are going to find out the question. Okay, what are the questions, or what are the things that we need to raise to achieve that success? But in order to discuss it, stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.